Okay, we're going to describe digital and analog signals. Now, what we said about digital is basically the ability to use 0, 1, or should I say off and on, whereas tilde 6, the analog, is adjustable. So instead of just being off or on, you can kind of get anything in between, something that's a little faded. So we're going to show both cases here. So let's get rid of this RGB. We don't need that. And get rid of its red wire, its resistor, its blue wire, and its green wire. And then we'll go here to code. And we're going to take our set pin here, and we're going to turn on 7. So 7 set to high means it will turn on. And also I tilde 6. Let's get a set pin for tilde 6 as well. There we go. And they're both set to high, and you'll start simulation, and they both turn on. Okay, now if I set pin 6 to low and start simulation, you'll see that low means off. If I set 7 to low, low means off for 7 as well. So let's turn them both on. Now, right now, 6 and 7 are both acting as though they're both digital. They're basically are turning off and on. But 6 has another magic power because it's a tilde. It's analog. It can actually shift between being off and on. And so in order to show you that ability, we're going to get rid of this little setting, which is just off and on only. And we're going to throw this away. And we're going to go to this pin right here. This is for tildes. Let's go to tilde 6. And you notice it has 0. 0, when it comes to the analog, actually means off. Let's start simulation, and I'll show you it means off. See, blue never came on. And what means on? 255. That's on. And let's start simulation again. And now the blue light is nice and blue. Okay, so that's how you get your 0 and 0, I should say off and on, using 0 and 255. So you can use numbers in between, let's say 10, and you get a faded result when I start simulation. So it's not as blue as before. See, it's not that bright blue anymore. So in order to show that more clearly, the brightness, we're going to actually have pin 6 go from 0 to 255, which is all the way off to all the way on. And it's going to go up there slowly. So we're going to go to control and go here to count and put count around our pin 6. And we're going to have our count go from 0, which means off, all the way up to 255, which means completely on. And let's, instead of going by ones, that's a little slow. We're going to have it go by the 5 timetables. So it's going to use the 5 timetables to go from 0 to 255. That's a little faster than going by 1 timetables. And it's going to use I. So instead of just staying at 10, we're going to make this I. So it's going to variables. And there's the I right there. It's going to grab that, pull that over, and put it right over the 10. So now it's going to use I to go from 0 to 255. Now it's going to go there very fast, very fast. So we have to kind of slow it up. Let me show you. Start simulation. See, it went to blue so fast you can't tell it actually went from 5 to 255. So we're going to slow that down a little bit by putting a little weight in there. So let's go to control, and there's a weight right here. Let's put a weight right in there, and just go to milliseconds and put in about 30 milliseconds. So it's going to wait 30 milliseconds before it goes to the next number. And that'll slow it down just a little bit. And so when you start simulation, it'll go from 0 to 255. It's hard to tell. So we're going to put one more piece in here that's going to let it go downward too. So let's duplicate all this. And we're going to go down from 255, which is on, to 0, which is off. Okay, I'm going to clean up my code a little bit. I'm going to pull this little piece off, and put it back on so it goes straight from here to there rather than being embedded inside. So this is a lot better. Let's shrink this a little bit. Okay, so what it's going to do is that here it's going to start counting by fives from 0 to 255 using the letter I to be the counter. And then pin number 6 is going to use I to go from 0 to 255, which goes from off to on. Then once that's finished, it's going to use I again to go from 255, which is on, down to 0, using I again. And so we'll do a little bit of waiting there. All right, so it's going to go from off to on, and then from on to off. Let's start simulation. So the red came on nicely, and the blue is actually going from on to off. So you can actually see the fade. Okay. So your job is to get the green also to fade from off to on.